Welcome, welcome. Sunny here. You are at the home of all things ballroom dance. And in today's video, this is part 3 of a little mini series I'm doing, sharing how we as professional ballroom dancers make money. And there's many different ways. So today I'm going to get into traveling coaching. So in the last video, I shared how we earn money teaching, how we earn money doing pro-am competition, competing with our students. Well, we also teach kind of non-regular students. So we have our home kind of base clientele. That's where the lion's share of our income usually comes from. But we also often, especially higher level pros, I should say, not social pros, but people that have competed at the championship level, often travel, especially when you're like a national or international title holder. You might travel to a different state. You might travel to a different country to do coaching. That could take place in a variety of ways. You might do a paid show. So I've been paid to go not to an international comp, but a different state, to go and do like a professional show for the competition audience. Rates vary per event. In my case, I would charge $2,000 for a 5-dance show, but this varies greatly per couple. You might be paid to do a private event, okay? Or you might be flown down or up to perform at another studio's showcase. When that happens, they'll hire you to do workshops and such for their students as well. Sometimes we would perform as a pro couple for free for charity events, like a local children's hospital. I can't tell you though how many, I probably still get offers. I'll use the term offers liberally once a week, like, oh, come do a show for us for free. You'll get all these clients. Said yes, no pro ever. We don't need to do work for free. We know that's not going to get us clientele, first of all. Now, if you ever do need a free show, hey, contact your local pro, and I'm sure they can send an amateur couple who'd love to do that for you. But that's actually paid work for us, okay? Secondly, there are traveling, I'll say, performances where you have choreography. For example, Dancing with the Stars has a touring show. So does So You Think You Can Dance. They do hire backup dancers for that, a backup crew. And those are legit championship level dancers, even if they weren't on the show. Many of the dancers in the traveling show were not on the show, but they're still amazing to watch. Now, you can't be hired for a traveling type gig if you aren't a championship level professional or championship level amateur. That's good enough too. And sometimes retired pros do that if they get a little burnt out on teaching their home clientele, where they could just go out and perform on the road. It's not personally my jam. I'm more of a homebody. But many people, enjoy that kind of performing and being in the public eye all the time. And for them, that works. But I'll tell you this, most pros, the vast majority, have a loyal home base clientele that are in the town where they live. And trust you me, I don't care how good of a pro you are. If you ditch your students, especially if you ditch your students repeatedly to do anything other than teach them, and you show them through your actions that something or someone or someone's else is a higher priority than you teaching them, they're going to find another pro. Everyone's replaceable. Even if that pro is not as skilled of a teacher as you. You know what? When your students need lessons, they need lessons and they want lessons, okay? So, really successful pros that have home clientele, they don't do stuff like that. It's just a little bit of a different animal. Either they enjoy that lifestyle, which is honestly pretty rare, or they're just new to being a professional, and it's a way that you can support yourself being paid. And some people enjoy that traveling experience. Honestly, travel is not that novel of experience for the championship level competitors because we've traveled all over the world doing our competition shtick. So I would say travel's already a bucket list that we've filled. Another way that we make money is you go to another city, another state, another country to do what's called visiting coaching. So I might fly in somewhere and just do like 2 days of lessons with someone's that studio's clientele, and then I leave, and those are just one-off lessons. Now I might see, one student or one couple while I'm there, up to 10 times, but they're not ever going to be really my clientele. It's just more, hey, how can I help you look best with your pro-am teacher? And then I'm out of there. In that case, if you either teach an amateur couple, sometimes you'll teach a single amateur dancer. I'm willing to do that. Honestly, many pros aren't, and they require that they either be a couple, or if that amateur does not have a partner, they expect them to bring their pro partner. That is because when we as the pro dance solo with a solo amateur dancer, it's just physically a lot more demanding on our body. And that can be especially tough if you're doing visiting coaching, because when you're coaching out of town, honestly, you do tend to teach many more hours than you would at home, just because you got to cram them in. Whereas at home, you really have the luxury of spreading them out, 7 days a week, just a little easier on your body. The pro-am student, when they do take that lesson with their pro, almost always pays, well, obviously they pay the visiting coach for their time, which is inevitably more expensive than their regular pro, but they also pay that pro for their time to be there. So that can be expensive, but honestly, I think visiting pros are great. Even if you don't agree with anything you heard and it doesn't work for you, it never hurts to hear something from a different perspective, and you never know, it might come back to you 3 years later like, oh, that's what she was talking about. Or maybe they'll say something in a different way that your teacher has been trying to say to you that just didn't kind of touch your heart, and you'll hear it in different words and be like, oh, that's what he meant. So that's kind of fun. I think often studios like to bring in visiting coaches because they can bring in a different perspective without worrying about losing that student to another teacher. Often the teachers are very protective, I'll say, of the students, their own students in that town, because they're afraid that they'll lose their student to you if they take a lesson with you. So it's kind of an interesting cultural thing. You can also work at dance camps. I've done like 2 dance camps. So I'm not super experienced in that, but it's fun. And that's kind of like doing a visiting coaching. You just show up to some hotel somewhere and they will ask you to teach. You teach privates there. And then you teach workshops, and people that come to the comp have a choice of attending your workshop. I suppose how they pay for that depends on the different camps. What they usually at a dance camp will just pay a bulk price, and then they attend whatever classes they want. So during 1 hour, they might have a choice between my waltz class, someone else's Argentine tango class, another teacher's Lindy Hop class, and they kind of pick and choose what style they want to do that hour and what teacher they want to take from. And if you have the opportunity to do a dance camp, I definitely recommend it. They're great fun, meet new people, and it's just a nice way to try out new styles and not really have to commit to that, that teacher long term. So that's kind of fun. That type of dance camp work, though, is not something you could fully support yourself on. Okay, that's a one-off event. Those things just run like once a year. Same thing with if you do workshops at competitions. Each competition only runs once annually, at least if it's an NDCA sanctioned one. Some ballroom dancers also travel for coaching to earn money, and they do that on a cruise ship. And that is its own unique little animal. So I am going to post another video on that lifestyle as soon as possible, because that's super unique as well. And definitely an option. You will need to be a championship level dancer though, if you want to pursue that career. But I'll get into that tomorrow. So, thanks so much for joining me today. If you have any questions about, kind of life in the ballroom dance world, social dancing, competing, what it's like to be an amateur, a pro, the different styles. Please ask me in the comments. I love answering your questions. Makes it very easy for me to provide videos that are most interesting to you. Because if you have the question, I bet someone else does too. So thanks so much for joining me. Subscribe if you like this stuff. Okay, guys, have an awesome day. Bye.